Sha'Carri Richardson rule could be coming to the world of track and field. I'll talk about it right after the bumper. It's good people. Jeff Lighty Jr. here with the Black Boss channel and Victory Formation. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, and the notification bell because we upload every single day. Now, there has been calls to change some of the rules that take place in the world of track and field, and there could be some changes moving forward due to Sha'Carri Richardson. I'm going to read to you from an article via Yahoo Sports. It says the WADA to review cannabis status as banned substance in the wake of the Sha'Carri Richardson Olympic ban. So for those of you who don't remember, Sha'Carri Richardson won the Olympic trials in the 100-meter dash for the United States women, and she was banned from going to the Olympics and participating in the event that she won at the United States. She was banned from participating at the Olympic level because it was found that she had cannabis in her system. And then she admitted to taking cannabis, consuming cannabis due to the death of her biological mother. And then there was an onslaught, a world storm after that. So let's read some of this article from Yahoo Sports. It says, just months after 100-meter champion Sha'Carri Richardson lost her spot at the Tokyo Olympics because of a positive cannabis test, the World Anti-Doping Agency made plans to review the drug's status as a banned substance. WADA announced on Tuesday that an advisory group will conduct a scientific study to review whether marijuana should remain banned. This study will take place in 2022. The drug will remain on the banned substance list in the meantime. Quote, following the receipt of requests from a number of stakeholders, endorsed the decision of the list expert advisory group to initiate in 2022 a scientific review of the status of cannabis. A WADA statement read, per AFP, cannabis is currently prohibited in competition and will continue to be in 2022. Now, the U.S. Anti-Doping Agency suspended Richardson from competition for 1 month starting June 28th following the revelation of her positive test, citing WADA regulations. It also stripped her of the 100-meter title at the U.S. Olympic trials, prohibiting her from competing in the event in Tokyo. The U.S. track and field ultimately left her off the Olympic roster rather than invite her to compete in the 4x1 relay, which took place after the completion of her suspension, which I still think was garbage, by the way. The fact that her suspension would have been up by the time the 4x1 ran and they still left her in the States and didn't allow her to travel, I still think that was garbage, but, you know, it is what it is. Like I said, Richardson admitted to ingesting cannabis in the days leading up to the June 19th Olympic trials. Her suspension drew widespread outrage and calls for the review of rules banning cannabis in the international competition that came from a high as the White House and USADA. Critics argued that the drug is legal or decriminalized in multiple U.S. states and in countries around the world, and is not a performance enhancer. Richardson tested positive in Oregon, where cannabis is legal. USDA CEO Travis Tigert called Richardson's situation, quote, heartbreaking, while noting that the rules are clear. So, it looks like the outrage kind of worked, or could potentially have worked in the favor of the people, right? The people wanted this cannabis ban, this weed ban, to go away in track and field. The anti-doping agencies sounds like they may have heard you. Now, it doesn't mean that it's going to happen. And it doesn't take away the fact that Sha'Carri did break the rules. Like, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Even if they decide to, you know, get rid of this rule, say cannabis isn't a performance enhancer, take cannabis off the banned substance list, it doesn't take away the fact that you gotta follow the rules, right? Like, it still goes back into that tug of war, right? Like, what's right and what's wrong. Okay, I know this is wrong, but it's legal in the States, but it's illegal. It's still a banned substance. So, you know, whatever side of the fence you fall on when it comes to Sha'Carri, you're still gonna stay there. This doesn't change anything. But what it does tell me is that the world heard your complaints. The world heard what was taking place. The world is starting to catch up a little bit, right? I mean, weed has been something that's been super controversial for decades, right? Like there's still, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of black men behind bars because of weed, right? And now there's hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars made by white men because of weed. So you ain't got to educate me, right? Like I already know. You ain't got to educate me about weed and how controversial and how, like, once white people realize that, we can make millions and millions of dollars by selling it as entrepreneurs and by taxing it as government officials or whoever, or government entities, maybe it is okay. Actually, it doesn't make you go out and be this dangerous monster to society, right? Like, so you ain't got to tell me nothing about that. I understand how that works. In regards to Sha'Carri, though, she still broke the rules. She understood that was against the rules and decided to break them anyway. Sha'Carri's just got to get her mind right? But it does sound like that they are leaning towards changing the rules and taking cannabis off the banned substance list. Now, the question is, will that make those supporters of Sha'Carri, even though it doesn't take away the fact that she came in last place, didn't get a chance to run at the Olympics, etc., etc. It just sounds like potentially by the next Olympics in 2024, she'll be able to smoke all the weed she wants, right? Ingest all the cannabis that she wants and not be breaking the rules. Whether that makes her faster or not, keeps her from, finishing in 9th and then in 4th place, I don't know. Shelly Ann Frazier and Elaine Thompson-Herah might have something to say about that. So we'll have to see moving forward, but it looks like a Sha'Carri Richardson rule, because that's what I'm going to call it. The fact that all of this is being brought up and this is even under consideration has totally to do, only and solely to do with Sha'Carri Richardson. The Sha'Carri Richardson rule could go into effect with the world of track and field. The anti-doping agency looks like they may be taking weed off the banned substance list, and that, to me, my friends, I will call and deem the Sha'Carri Richardson rule. So if anything comes from this, it could potentially be that the future runners, and even Sha'Carri in the future, won't have to deal with this anymore. Leave your thoughts in the chat. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Once again, I'm Jeff Lighty Jr. with the Black Boss channel in Victory Formation. Follow me on Instagram at VF Sports Show. I post content on there all the time. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you next time. Peace.